All right, continuing on with our meeting. First, we need a motion to approve the August 24th, 2020 business meeting minutes. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Force, seconded by Mr. Kushner. Roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes. Next, we need a motion to approve the list of bills dated September 28th, 2020 as presented. General Fund, $81,504.93. Sewer Fund, $22,254.53. And the State Fund, $78.04. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. DePietro, do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Saccone, roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion
Okay, next, we need a motion to approve resolution 2020-17. It's a Beaver County Highway Safety Task Force for a 2-year grant with Greg Durkis as project director. I'll make the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Kushner seconds. Roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And if you're following the agenda, we're down to number 5 right now. We need a motion to approve resolution 2020-18. Resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Township of Hopewell, Beaver County, Pennsylvania, approving a 2-lot subdivision of parcel 65-193-0220-001 of land owned by Karen McNary and Andrea Milliken into 2 lots, parcels 2A and 2B. The plan formerly known as the Yancik Subdivision Number 2, located on Airport Road in the R4 zoning district in Hopewell Township, in accordance with the terms and provisions of the Hopewell Township Subdivision Ordinance Number 91-2. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. DePietro, do I have a second?
So moved.
Mr. Force, roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay, we need a motion to purchase the amphitheater from Recreation Resources USA for the Hopewell Community Park DCNR grant, with both funds from the Park Reserve account and the general fund account. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Mr. Force, second by Mr. Saccone. Roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And again, if you're following the agenda, I am going to move number 7 down to number 9 for right now. Next, we have a motion to approve resolution 2020-19. Be it resolved that Hopewell Township, Beaver County, Pennsylvania, hereby requests a multimodal transportation fund grant in the amount of $266,479 from the Commonwealth Financing Authority to be used for Hopewell Community Park Culvert Replacement Project. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Kushner. I'll second. Roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Next, we need a motion to approve CH Landscaping and Construction as the winner of the bid for the Ferguson roller for $500. There was 3 bids. This was the best one. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Mr. Force, second by Mr. Saccone. Roll call.
Mr. Force.
Yes.
Mr. Saccone.
Yes.
Mr. DePietro.
Yes.
Mr. Kushner.
Yes.
Mr. Buffalini.
Yes.
Motion carried.
Someone here from VFW? VFW? Okay. If you just wait a few seconds, I'm gonna put you down with the citizens forum, okay? Thanks.
Okay.
At this time, do we have any commissioners' reports? None? Departments, let's see. Mr. Thompson, Sewer Department Supervisor, your report, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. For the month of August, the Water Pollution Control System responded to 91 PA1 calls, 2 residential sewer complaints, and 5 sanitary sewer lateral inspections. 1 was a full restoration, and 4 were new construction. There were 2 emergency call-outs to the treatment plants and 3 to the pump stations. All preventive maintenance and repairs were completed on the vehicle fleet, the 2 treatment plants, and 10 pump stations. 115,000 gallons of Supernate was decanted from the aerobic digesters. 264,000 gallons of digested sludge was pressed at an average of 13.6%, and 17,500 gallons of sludge were hauled from the Wickham Village treatment plant. Over 1,700 feet of sanitary main lines were jetted, and approximately 1,300 feet of sanitary lines were televised, and various trouble areas throughout the township were flushed. On August 18th, Sean Bell from the Department of Environmental Protection completed an annual compliance evaluation inspection at the Raccoon Creek treatment plant. All parameters were met at the Raccoon Creek and Wickham Village treatment plants. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. HRG, Mr. Durkin, please.
Yes, Mr.
Engineering
President. Yes, sir, thank you. A few updates this month. The DCNR grant for the amphitheater was executed and approved, so we can move forward with that project. So we've coordinated with Recreation Resource as far as ordering the amphitheater kit. Once that kit is ordered, and we'll start working on the scheduling for installation. The 2020 paving project, right now we're coordinating with PennDOT point of contact for liquid fuels for the materials needed for the submittal. Right now, Youngblood is tentatively scheduled for paving for the first week in October. The Miranda Homes Development Paving, Shields Paving has started conducting base repairs, and is also tentatively scheduled to start with Claremont tomorrow. We completed the MS4 training on September 24th, and that report, the annual report, needs to be submitted on September 30th. We are in the process of submitting a multimodal grant application for the culvert at the Hopewell Community Park, and have that application ready to roll by the 30th. And there are no updates on the sewer side of things, so that concludes our report.
Okay, Mr. Durkin, thank you. Mr. Bates, zoning, code enforcement.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, ladies and gentlemen, Hopewell Township Building and Zoning Report for August 2020. As far as the building report goes, in the month of August, there were 34 building permits issued for the following construction. There were 4 single-family homes, 3 home additions, 11 solar panel projects, 1 finished bathroom addition, 1 commercial remodel for the daycare center that's going to be located at 2049 Broadhead Road. That's in the Crest Plaza at 5 Points. And also there were 14 electrical, 6 plumbing, and 7 mechanical permits. My zoning report, I investigated property complaints and started corrective action, sent certified mail to property owners concerning violations, informed property owners and contacted Beaver County for property assessments, issued new addresses with the post office and Beaver County 911. I assisted Valley Refuse with billing account and status information, issued zoning permits for various accessory use projects, submitted subdivision applications to BC Planning for review. I investigated and processed the conditional use request that we had this evening. I recorded the Jack Street lot consolidation plan at the Beaver County Recorder of Deeds, and process right-to-know requests. In my notes, these items ratified by various township ordinances. Fire burning is not permitted unless it's for outdoor cooking. Chickens and coops are not permitted in residential districts. Residential neighborhoods should be quiet after dark. And house numbers should be clearly posted for 911 identification. My planning report, the next planning commission meeting will be Thursday, October 15th. And recently, Rudy Zetz was appointed as a new member to the planning commission. Respectfully submitted, John Bates. That's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Bates. A lot of information there. Okay. Our chief is on vacation. We do have his report. Now, commissioners, anything under old business? Anything under new business? Okay, at this time, we do have our citizens forum. Any comments and questions, we ask the residents to state their name and address, be brief and to the point, and if there's a group, please have one person represent you. VFW, I think, yeah, right, we can ask you now. I had to move things around on the agenda a little bit. So, sure.
On now? Okay.
Yep.
My name is Susan Props. I live at 3103 McKinley Avenue. And here along with, am I taking this off a little bit, with my friends, Kim Straffen and Ray Daughtery. And we've been doing a lot of research about trying to get the military troop banner program started in Hopewell. I have some information, if it's okay, if I bring you up a copy that I've run off for everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
If you would just maybe take a moment to read the first page, and then I can elaborate a little bit more.
Okay.
Okay, we just really feel that there's so many communities around our area that are involved in this troop banner program.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be really great for Hopewell to be involved in it. I've listed information in this blue section that has the website information from troopbanners.com, and it lists all of the ins and outs about how they work their program. There are just so many in Pennsylvania. I don't know if you've driven around the area and seen them, but they just are tremendous. I just think they're a tremendous tribute to our veterans and active duty people. In the next section, I know this is a lot of material, but I'm just gonna let you digest it when you can. I put in the yellow section, I put 2 applications. It seems like the towns or the townships, whatever, came up with their own application process as to how. So I don't know that there are any strict guidelines. Moon Township has a rather lengthy application. Findlay Township, where Ray is from, their township had quite a smaller application. So yeah, I guess it all depends on how you wanted it to be. But basically, I think what we're asking for Hopewell to do is to become the administrative site. It has to be a place where the public has access to. where a person could be in charge to take the responsibility to scan the military picture, to take the application, to accept the money, and then all of that goes to this troopbanner.com site. They in turn print the banners and send back the information to the township. In most places, it's been the road department who's handled putting up the brackets and hanging the banners. The banners are hung before Memorial Day and then taken down after Veterans Day, so that the wear and tear of the flags don't come around. Well, the main stumbling block, I spoke to Nora Janicki, and she said she had looked into trying to do this program for Hopewell a while back, and the stumbling block apparently was the fee that Duquesne Light wanted to charge. Ray contacted Duquesne Light, and they said that they would waive the fee because it's a military program. So basically, what we're requesting for you to be responsible for is to hang them, be the site to accept the money. Everything is paid for. The bracket cost can be included in with the ordering of the banner. I got information in the next section, the last section where the green label is, from Dawn Lane. She's the manager at Moon Township. They just recently started their banner program there, and they actually had a committee that was involved, and she kindly shared with me the suppliers that they contacted and even the invoices. These are recent invoices. They're dated just a couple weeks ago, so these are current prices. And I know that she would be very, a good person to contact, that this is something that you would be willing to look into. I just think, personally, I was born and raised in Hopewell. I graduated from Hopewell High School, 1970. Graduated from Edinburgh, 1974. My dad, I never knew my dad. My dad was a pilot, Navy pilot in the Korean War, and he was killed in action. So he built a home for us on Broadhead Road out past 5 Points that we lived in for a long time, but my mom was 3 months pregnant with me when my dad was killed. So this, to me, touches my heart. It's something that I really want to see, not just for me, but for so many people who've lost their loved ones or just want to honor their loved ones or family. So I'm hoping that you would take the time to go through this at your leisure and give it some really good thoughts. My friend Ray has samples of the banners that he would like to.
Can I show?
Absolutely.
If you get a banner, it's 24 by 36.
Right.
It hangs on a telepole. But you also get 2 of these, and it has the township, it would say Hopewell Township, the person, what awards they got, some awards, or where they served, if they were killed in action, if they were in Vietnam, wherever they were. It's your choice of what you want to put down here, if you were Army, Air Force, anything like that. So you get 2 of these, and you're welcome to do whatever somebody would want to do. Put them in your front yard. That's what they're designed for. But that's just a sample. And if you look, whenever you read that thing there, if you go to troopbanners.com, you'll just be friggin' amazed. Just look at townships and cities and boroughs that you know. Maybe you'll see somebody that you know because it shows a picture of every single one of them. And it's quite a program. I think you'd do your constituents.
Yeah, I've been through towns, I've seen it, it's very nice, it's very good.
Thank you.
But we'll take this and look at it and discuss it and see, we do have a memorial basically to them where we put the flags up in front of the junior high for the veterans. And those are sold also. So let's take a look at this, see if there's something we can come up with maybe to get this done.
I appreciate it. Appreciate
Okay?
your time.
Thank you for your time, bringing it up.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
I have one question, who would determine the location of where these banners are
Who determines where they go?
Yeah, is that our responsibility, or is that?
Well, I would imagine Broadhead Road would be the logical site, and I mentioned in there that Kim had come up with the idea of, why not start in front of the junior high? That's where, and then work in directions on either side of that.
To be on Broadhead Road, in other words, right?
Yeah, I mean, cause that's, that's
That's the main-
basically
that's-
where the other memorial stuff is, right there, the flag, the bricks and so forth, so that would be my thought. I don't know that there's any other logical place. I mean, I know that it starts down, Hopewell Township starts at, 20th Street,
Yeah.
coming up Bucktail Hill, from that point up, out to Moon Township line. So there's a
It
lot
starts
of.
further down, it starts down by the Elks on the one side. It starts down by the Elks on the one side.
Oh,
Coming
down
up.
the hill, okay.
Hillcrest.
Yeah.
Well, Moon Township has theirs up on Beaver Grade Road, that's where they start, down by where their municipal building is.
How high on the pole are they? Like,
They're required to be 15 feet above street, 9 feet above sidewalks, and that's by Duquesne Light.
okay.
15 and
The
9.
base of the banner, the bottom straps, they have two of them because they're 24 by 36. The
Mhm.
bottom one on the street's 15 feet above sidewalks, 9 feet, and that's Duquesne Light's request, or requirement.
Yes, sir.
That's a good question about where they would be, because if you set up the program, you want to determine that ahead of time. Of course, everybody would like it to be right in front of their house, but in Finney Township, there are 2 housing plans where it goes, and that's up to the township. And one thing to consider is, I have to bring this up, if you put it in a busy commercial area and people are reading the banners, they may lose sight of what they're supposed to be doing. That's just,
Exactly.
that's not official, that's just my thought.
Right.
Usually, if you say, in a certain housing plan, which you have several of them, and allow people to request for it to be there, you wouldn't want somebody from one end of the township to have his post, at the other end of the township. So, just whenever you get an application, you might consider, we'll probably put that in this area, so.
Mhm.
And another thing, you mentioned, after Memorial Day, before Memorial Day and after.
Before Memorial Day and after Veterans Day.
Finley Township decided to let them up all year long. They have so many areas for their Christmas decorations and things like that, that they thought it was important to keep the veterans up there all year long, but
That's all individual. That's our.
Now, were any of those other ones on a PennDOT road? Because Broadhead isn't owned by us. I think PennDOT, we would have to have approval. I think we would have to have approval from PennDOT too to be on Broadhead Road. That's not our road. I don't know how that's.
Yeah, only because, the only reason that Broadhead is like the main road where everybody goes
Mhm.
through, and the township has hung before Christmas decorations, but before we got too far into the weeds on how much information, who would committee it, who would be in charge, I guess we're just looking to see is it even viable, if you're
Right,
gonna
okay.
authorize it and approve it, before we get into, like Duquesne Light requires the poll numbers you're gonna put it on. Like to drive around and start this whole plan, if it's dead in the water, doesn't make any sense. We're just trying to find out if it's something that you guys will authorize and support before we get too far along.
All
So
right.
this is just the basics, and that's as far as we go.
Okay.
Maybe
Did I answer your
contact
question?
the manager at Moon. Just
Yeah, he
go
can
on.
follow up with Moon and, places.
Because I would make the assumption Beaver Grade is probably not a township.
Yeah, that's probably
road
PennDOT
either.
road, exactly.
It is. So, I mean, if it becomes that it can't be a state road, but I know it's been done before, I don't know if you apply for a waiver, but that is stuff that is so far down the road
Yep.
that
Right.
we just didn't, get that far yet.
Okay. Good, we appreciate you bringing this. Let us take a look at it, we'll decide
Thank you.
down the road. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Kim, I didn't know that was you, thanks. I didn't know
Cindy
that was you.
waving to all of you.
You got that mask, when you come in with a mask, I didn't know it was you. Okay, anyone else? Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Steve Fritz, I live on Sawn Road. This is my wife Erin and our son Jude. Jude would like to present to you his Eagle project for down at the park. If you would mind taking just a few minutes of
Sure,
time.
sure, we'd be glad to.
Just take it.
All right. First of all, I want to say thank you for allowing me to come here to speak today.
Executive, can I take this off just so I can
Sure.
easily hear me?
Sure.
Okay, so, like I said, my name is Jude Fritz. I am a part of Boy Scout Troop 435. I am in the high school band. I'm a junior in high school, do a lot of different sports in high school, and I'm here today to talk to you about my Eagle project. Now, what the Eagle project is, I kind of want to bring a new attraction to the park. At the park, we already have the pond, we already have the playground, we have the trails, but I want to bring something called an audio-visual tour. Now, you may be wondering what that is, and by using QR codes, we will be able to bring a new experience to the park and talk about certain animals, nature, and even park history, depending on the route we go. Now, if you are wondering what a QR code is, I would like to show you an example of what the QR code is, if I can hand this out.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, now, real quick, do you people have a smartphone? If you have a smartphone, may you please pull it out, so I'll be showing you how to actually, the process of how to use a QR code. So, what you want to do with your smartphone is, you're going to want to open up your camera app. Wait for you guys. And after you open up your camera app, you simply want to hold the camera over the square here, and it will be able to automatically detect, and it will pull up a tab on either the top or the bottom, and it will bring you a link to a website. And this website that we're doing is a video that I made about fun facts about squirrels. So.
Get there, Buff.
I got it, yeah, it's trying to get there. It's trying, my phone ain't real smart. It's not my fault, I bought it this way.
Alright, so, as you can see, that's kind of the presence of QR codes. Now, what we're going to be doing is that we're going to have pedestals placed around the park where you're going to find QR codes like this on there, but they're going to be about us. I want to get us scouts make videos of us scouts talking and put QR codes on pedestals talking about certain subjects, whether that be animals, nature, or park history. Yet again, depending on where we go. Now, the first pedestal we're going to make is going to be a pedestal explaining what I just did, explaining how to use the QR codes properly and all that. Now, the cost of the project depends on how many pedestals we're actually going to be making. So, say an example, if we make 16 pedestals, the approximate cost will be around $1,000. Now, for maintenance costs are low. We're going to be using an app called YouTube, where you're able to upload your own videos and be your own quote-unquote content creator. And to keep the account running, we're going to make our own account. If you want to keep that running, because eventually, if I need to move on or whatnot, all I got to do is give the username and passcode to that account to another person, depending on who that person is going to be. So if they need to re-upload or redo a video, they will re-upload or redo their video, upload it to that account, and they'll create a new QR code to link to that video. So far, do I have any questions?
You're gonna make the videos?
Yes, me and the other scouts are planning on making the videos. So. No further questions?
What do? You put those things you're gonna build at certain places going through the trails, or?
Yeah, we're just gonna, the park board allowed me to put them wherever I feel is right to put them. So like say if there's a certain animal living in a certain spot in the park, I could put a pedestal there with information on the pedestal with a QR code.
So when people click on that, it'll give them the whole story.
It'll bring up an entire new video about
Oh, okay.
that pedestal, or whatever's
Cool.
on the pedestal.
Now, from the park board perspective, who's gonna approve the content of the videos? We have somebody designated for that, Brad?
Once he does the videos, the park board will look them over to make sure that they're appropriate. When he presented that to our last park board meeting, we all said that, it just, amplifies things such as the, Century Awareness Trail, and any other places that he does put it, because, I mean, not everyone knows history or bugs and animals or mushrooms and things of that nature. So if there's something there that just enhances the trail, they were all for it, so.
You are excited for it.
There would be no cost to the community for this. This is fundraised by Jude. If you wanna talk about your fundraising, Jude?
So fundraising for this, is, I would first try to look for sponsors to see if they could sponsor the actual project. The way I would actually sponsor the sponsors is by, before starting off the video, about whatever the topic is on that pedestal, we're gonna have like their logo there and say the sponsors, so say if we're getting sponsored by Brewster's, we're gonna say this video is first sponsored by Brewster's, give a few like facts about them, like little deals they have and whatnot, then continue on with the video. Another thing is a site called GoFundMe. I know that my family will easily donate over $500 for my cost itself, so that's another way that we will be able to fundraise for this project.
Good, sounds like you got everything worked out. Sounds good too.
Yeah, I like it. So really, the only
Yeah.
maintenance down the road is a laminated piece of paper, if it would go bad or fade. Is that how it would go, like in a frame?
Yeah, it will either be, we're also throwing around the idea of having it like aluminum. It's like an aluminum cover, or if we don't go with the aluminum cover, we're gonna surround it with like plexiglass, so it doesn't go free. So.
Right. That's good, Jude. Yes, sir.
He had mentioned earlier too that if, one of the ideas the park board had was that if we go with the aluminum, we would still protect that with a piece of plexiglass so that the code can't be destroyed and then not usable.
Right.
Because that's a significant investment.
Okay. What, are you gonna have these codes on paper inside that plexiglass, or is it on?
Or if you raise it
Like,
up, it could make aluminum.
we either have it like in the aluminum, or it's gonna be like on a laminated piece of paper, all on plexiglass.
Okay, okay, good. Sounds good. Anybody else? You guys got questions? Any questions? Sounds good. Jude, good idea.
All right,
All
thank
right.
you for your time.
Yeah, that sounds good to us. We're gonna talk about it some more, get us some more information, you know, about when you wanna start, and, you know, if you need something from us, let us know.
All right.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Jude.
Thanks, Jude.
Thank you.
You did a good
Nice
job.
presentation,
Al.
young man.
The presentation was very nice, very good. Anyone else? Nothing? Okay. All right, just a couple announcements. Please visit our website at hopewelltwp.com, our Facebook page and Twitter for updates on Hopewell Township news and events. At this time, I would ask for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
A second?
Second.
Got him? All in favor? Aye. Meeting adjourned. Thank you, everyone, for coming.